All right, everyone, welcome back to the Golf Unfiltered podcast. We got a special edition of the Golf Unfiltered podcast here. I'm Adam from Golf Unfiltered, and you know my buddy Brinson Paolini from Sharp Focus Golf. That's a little bit of a name change there, I've noticed, Brinson. How are things going?
Things are doing great, man. We appreciate you being here. Excited for the partnership again, and excited to talk about our new venture here of Sharp Focus Golf. It's really kind of an extension of Sharp Focus Nutrition, which I know we've talked about in the past.
Definitely. And you guys have been longtime partners at Golf Unfiltered. We appreciate you, of course. Sharp Focus Nutrition is something that listeners to this show hear the ad every single time. They know that I've talked about it all the time. And all my friends, you've been on the podcast for a few times.
Yeah.
I've told you that I spread the wealth. They like, hey, you got any more of the Sharp Focus Nutrition stuff? I'm like, you got to go to the website and get it. But anyway, it is much more than just a nutritional system now. I mean, you've got a whole library, multifaceted library of stuff over at Sharp Focus Golf, don't you?
We do, yeah. So I think kind of what started it is, so I played professionally golf for a long time, and been doing performance coaching for kind of almost a decade, and I've had a website, and I've always had the thought of revamping the website and adding with top contributors, and the idea was to cover really all areas of golf for all levels and really every topic in golf, and that was the goal. And it was a lot of hard work, and over the last kind of really 18 months, we started it, and through that we've worked really hard, and we feel that we've created a really good website that's covered every topic for every level with some really good contributors.
So sharpfocusgolf.com is the website. It's new, it's revamped, it looks awesome.
I appreciate
so
that.
Your playing background, obviously you've been on the show in the past, you've talked about who you've played with in the past, your accolades. You're covering all elements of the game.
Yeah.
Not only from mechanics like swing mechanics and stuff, but also, well, I'll let you tell me. I mean, it's not just swing mechanics, is it?
For sure. And that's really kind of what started my performance coaching, was that we know that swing technique is extremely important. There's no doubt. And we encourage folks to have swing instructors, but there's so much more that goes into the game to continue to get better. And in recent years, there's just been a lot that's come out, cutting edge research that's come out in science and neuroscience and mental toughness and sports psychology, and things that tour players are focusing on, and that I think average players should be focusing on as well. And I've been very fortunate in my golfing journey to work with a lot of the top instructors and have access to a lot of that information, but the average person doesn't. And so our thought was, hey, there's some great research coming out from these awesome folks, and PGA Tour players are having access to it. How can we put it together in a low-cost, systematic way for folks to have access to it? And we really feel that we've been able to do it in very low-cost and systematic way, like I said.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to show a quick screen grab here for our YouTube viewers. It's sharpfocusgolf.com once again. And I love the tagline here, Brinson. There you are in one of the videos, many videos that you've got on the site. Golf simplified.
Yeah.
That is something that immediately catches your eye when you go to the website. Was that the main focus, kind of like the mission statement, if you will, of what you're doing?
For sure. I think we live in the information age, and it's really easy to find so much information about golf. All you need to do is go on Google and type, how to fix a slice or whatever it might be, how to shallow the club, and you're going to get thousands and thousands of videos. And I think we all, have golfers that love the game, have gotten lost on the internet trying to fix our game. And in my mind, I just think golfers are confused, and they're on there trying to work on things that aren't actually going to help them get better. And not to mention, a lot of these videos are long. So you're watching a 15-minute video and you're waiting for the punchline. The punchline comes and maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't help. And, from our standpoint, we said, hey, let's put something together where we can have folks come to this website, tell us where they are in their golfing journey. So if you come to our website, the things that I encourage you to look around, there's tons of free content. All of my content on there is free. And that for now, and that's kind of the plan as of now. I want to be able to help folks, but these contributors are top contributors, and they're charging me, so I have to charge for their services.
Of course.
But, from there, it's, hey, tell us where you are in your golfing journey. Fill out our player profile, send us some videos, and one of our coaches will get back to you and come up with a systematic plan for you to get better. And it's completely free. There's no obligation to become a member after that. we hope that you will. We really feel that we can help that. But let's come to you and let's understand where you are in your journey, and then come up with a plan to move forward. I mean, that's where we feel that we can help folks, as opposed to just haphazardly going on the internet or on YouTube and trying to find whatever is working
Right.
in the current moment, and doing it in a punchy way, right? I mean, our videos are short and to the point. I mean, I have a video on there about driving that's 7 minutes long, and it'll basically
Mhm.
cover everything you need to know that's important when it comes to being a great driver of the golf ball.
So one of the things that you just mentioned, but I also love about the website is it is broken out by golfer experience level,
Mm.
skill level. And
Yep.
as you were kind of describing the YouTube rabbit hole that I think many of us have gone down, I know I have.
Yeah.
Um, it's always a gamble to see, okay, well, what is this video? Who is this video geared to? What's the
Mhm.
audience for this video? They might be talking to someone that is just starting the game, or maybe they've
Yep.
played for, almost 30 years like myself, but you never really know. You have laid it all out in almost like a menu of services of sorts to
Mhm.
say, you know what, let us know where you're at in your journey, and
For
you've
sure.
got something to back that up. I think that's a really smart way to do it.
Yeah, I agree. I appreciate that. I mean, I think it is important to understand where you are in that level of development. And we have videos for folks that maybe they're going to Top Golf for the first time to play, or they're going to a pitch and putt and they've never picked up a club before. And what do they need to be thinking about, and what's important to them? And you have tailored videos for them to look at. And the majority of those are going to be free for me. So I encourage you to check those out. And then, to your point, if it's someone that's trying to play high level college golf and then play professionally, well, there's going to be a different conversation that you need to be
Right.
having from that standpoint. And then hopefully you'll continue to progress through those levels as you try to move forward and accomplish your goals in the game.
So for people listening to this, watching this on YouTube, talk to me a little bit about the roster of
Mm.
experts that you've got under your umbrella. It's really impressive.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Yeah, we really do. We are really fortunate to have the folks that we have on there. And if we think about it, we have 4 medical doctors on there. So Brielle Paolini is actually my sister, and she's a big contributor on there. And she has her MD and her PhD in neuroscience, and she's just extremely smart. She also has a golf background. She played collegiately, and been in my ear for a long time and really impacted my performance coaching. But she said, "Hey, Brinson, there's cutting edge research coming out around neuroscience, and no one's talking about this. I mean,
Mm.
every single day there's more research coming out around how to apply this to golf, and people need to do it." And so she's been just a big part of it, and her videos are really incredible. And then we have 3 other medical doctors on there. Dr. Kevin Neal is an anesthesiologist and a pain doctor. Dr. Richard Goldberg is um, been at Brown University for over 45 years. I mean, just incredible
Mhm.
experience as a psychiatrist, and really kind of goes on and on from there. And we have Harrison Shee, who he follows the tour for TrackMan. He's on tour 45 weeks a year, working with the best players in the world. He's got a video series on there about how to use launch monitors, how to think about curving the golf ball, controlling the golf ball. So right now we think that we really have covered every topic for every level, but we're going to continue to grow, and the current contributors we're still working on more video series for them to come out with, and we're also working with adding more contributors, and which we're super excited about, to give different perspectives. Because as you know, when you go take a golf lesson, and sometimes the same person could be telling you the same thing just in a little bit of a different way. And
Right.
that's important, because they might say it just a little bit different way that helps you really get to that next level and accomplish the goal that you're really trying to get to, from that standpoint.
Yeah, that is extremely true. It's funny because to use a funny example, it's almost like, in my when me and my wife talk, sometimes she goes, do this, do that, not related to golf, but just
Yeah.
in life. And then I talk to a friend and they tell me the exact same thing. She's like, I just told you that. Like, why are you
Yeah,
doing it
exactly.
now? But
Yeah, but it came
to
in a
your
different
point,
way, or it came from a different
exactly.
person and in a different voice. And that stuff is extremely important. You see the guys on tour do it all the time, whether they're changing caddies or changing coaches, or whatever it might be. But they're just looking for that different voice, and said in a little bit of a different way.
Absolutely. And by the way, folks, when Brinson says they have every aspect of the game covered, I mean, they have an optometrist in their roster. I mean, thinking about your eyes, thinking about your physical fitness. You've got athletic trainers on there I saw with over 30 years experience, for example. You really
Yeah.
do run the gamut for the full package of any golfer. But it's also, just to reiterate, this is
Mm.
also something that beginner golfers can also benefit from, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, wherever you are in your golfing journey, yeah, we encourage you to go on there and look around. There's a lot of great content. But yeah, I did a video. There's a little bit of a longer video from a development standpoint. But yeah, if you've never picked up a club before and you don't even know the etiquette, we got a really cool video on etiquette that was a lot of fun to put together. But yeah, we really feel we covered every topic in etiquette. And golf can be intimidating sometimes if your boss invites you out to a nice country club and you've never been, and
Mm-hmm.
you want to make a good impression, but you don't want to do anything wrong. So, I mean, that's a great video to watch for those folks. And then just a beginner video, never picked up the club before, never been to Top Golf or any of those kind of alternatives. I'll just kind of take you through the things that you need to understand from, what equipment do I need to buy? How do I grip the golf club? What do I need to be thinking about to continue to get better and hopefully fall in love with the game that I certainly love very much.
That same, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have a wide range of golfers from different skill sets and backgrounds that listen to the show and watch
Yeah.
on YouTube. Let's talk a little bit more deeply about the performance coaching.
Yeah.
So you yourself, long resume of a lot of impressive stuff on the golf course, and
Mm.
you bringing that expertise to people who want to get to that level. I mean,
Yeah.
what are some of the topics that you cover in your performance coaching?
Yeah, I really started it because I felt it was something that I struggled with when I
Mm.
played. And I've worked, like I said, with some really top instructors and been really, really fortunate to work with them. But, you take a lesson and you might see your swing coach once or every couple months. And then maybe you work with a sports psychologist, talk to them, once every few months. But there's periods of time in between where there's a lag and there's
Mhm.
so much going on in your game. And, my performance coaching is fairly intensive. I mean, I'm very in constant communication with my students. I mean, when they're playing tournaments, we're talking on the phone in the evenings between rounds, and we're talking about strategy. We're talking about how to practice, how to prepare, how to compete. What are you telling yourself when you're in contention, when you're not in contention? I mean, these are really the intangibles that are extremely important to get to the next level, whatever that might be,
Mhm.
whether it's win your club championship, your mid amateur, state amateur, or if you want to play at the highest level. I think having someone to talk to consistently that really understands what you're going through is key and important. So those are just some of the topics that we cover. But when we work together, it's like I said, we're in constant communication to really understand what's going on in your mind and really help you accomplish your goals.
And so this was set up for golfers across the nation, across the world, really. I mean, so it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be face to face. You can work with people remotely.
I do it all. Yeah, I do it almost all remotely. I mean, I'll
Mm,
do it's almost all via Google Meet or via phone. Now, I will from time to time go to tournaments, or I'll do what I
mm,
have like a call the half day assessments. I'll come out and watch you play for a day and really see your game and kind of develop what I feel is a plan for you to get better. And
mhm.
and I definitely do that. But the majority of it is to be able to work with folks all around the world. And I have students of all skill levels and work with junior golfers, college golfers, some retirees that are trying to get back into playing in their state amateur or win some senior events from that standpoint.
Excellent, excellent. So I don't want to put you on the spot, but what if we go through a little bit of a not so much a role play, but maybe use myself as an example as a
Yeah.
golfer who I'm a single digit handicap. I played
Yep.
in high school. I
Hmm.
play with some really strong players, and I only get to go out maybe once, if I'm lucky, twice a week. But I still
Yep.
want to be able to keep my skill set and my handicap where it is because I get
Mm-hmm.
enjoyment from the game at that level now. Like if I were to
100%.
regress, I just wouldn't have fun with the game anymore.
Yeah.
What are some ways that I would benefit from signing up at Sharp Focus Golf to kind of keep that, maybe even improve my game?
Yeah. Well, we would first think about what are you doing in those times that you're going to get to the golf course, because that's going to be extremely important, right? It sounds like when you play maybe 2 9 holes, you maybe say
Yeah.
call it 4 hours a week. Is that what you have to
Mhm.
dedicate to golf?
That's about right. Yep.
4 hours a week. Okay. Well, it's going to be, we're really going to dive into what you're doing in those 4 hours when you're out there and being really thoughtful about whether you're practicing or even if you're playing, what can you be doing on the golf course to help you get better. We could put some games together for you when you're on the golf course. I'd encourage you to get out, play 9 holes, have 3 golf balls, and I'm going to give you a short game that you need to focus on to really hold out to get better moving forward. And then there's stuff that you're doing off the golf course. Like, what are you thinking about at the end of the day? I always talk about the 2 most important parts of your day are when you go to bed at night and then when you wake up in the morning. And what are you doing in those periods of time? When I put my head to the pillow every single day, I mean, I'm thinking about not only in golf, but what did I do well that day? What do I need to do differently? And then I'm visualizing myself, if we're thinking about golf, playing great the next day as I go to sleep that night. And then you're getting up the next morning. What are you telling yourself? That stuff's extremely important. Your self-talk when you get up and you prepare for the day. And we've got great videos, really some of the top minds on how to think about that in the future. I mean, Chris Doris, our mental toughness coach, I mean, his videos, he's been my coach since I was 8 years old, but I mean, his videos are really incredible and will really change people's minds and their viewpoint, not only on the golf course, but just off the golf course. And, those are the things that we're going to be thinking about to help you really maximize your game and your life, and thinking about things moving forward.
So it sounds like it's almost retraining me how to retrain my brain to stay. And it's not just my brain. I mean, you talk about the fitness, you talk about everything related to performing your best at this game that I love, knowing that I might compete at like a club championship once,
Yeah. How
but
fun
I'm
is
not
that,
going
though?
out.
I mean, winning is a blast,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. I mean, it's just we're going to tilt the odds in your favor of continuing to get better. What can we do to tilt the odds in your favor and the things that you can control, right? I mean, we could control how we practice. We could control how we think. We can, put all the emphasis on, okay, what do I need to think about in my golf swing from a technique perspective? Those are the things we can control. We can't control the results, unfortunately, as much as we want in the game. And people say focus on the process. And I struggled because I'd had sports psychologists tell me that, hey, Brinson, focus on the process. And that's just like, well, what does that mean? Okay, well, let's talk about what the process is. The process is, let's develop a practice plan. Let's develop a plan to be in a great state of mind. How are you going to react when you get punched in the face? I mean, we're seeing it today at Pinehurst. I mean, guys are playing ping pong, going back and forth. And the winner is going to be the guy that gets up because everybody's getting punched in the face. And, whether people want to admit it or not, we are all our own coach. We're all coaching ourselves in our mind with our self-talk. And, our hope is that we're going to give you tools and tangible things to do to manage that self-talk in ways that you can be your own coach and be your own best friend to help you get better and accomplish your goals.
That's really interesting what you just said about us being our own coaches. And I would imagine that we can also be poor coaches for ourselves.
Yeah.
We could be our worst critic.
Yeah, most of us are. I mean, I know one of the things I struggle with the most in my game is just, negative self-talk in my mind. And I think you have to toe the line of sometimes you need to vent and you need to get it out. But, negative self-talk is just something that you can't have. And we have to learn to be our own best friend, and we have to learn to be our own coach, because like I said, we're all coaching ourselves, whether we want to admit it or not, on the golf course. Right. We're all doing it. And, if we can give you a toolbox of things that you can rely upon that are tangible, simple, quick, because that's what you need in the moment, right? I mean, when you make double on 15 of the club championship, you had a 2-shot lead, now you're tied with 2 to go. What are you telling yourself? Like, how are you going to respond to that? Because inevitably things like that are going to happen, and you got to be able to train yourself in those moments to be able to catch yourself and start telling yourself the right thing to move forward and bounce back.
So one of the things that I've always been taught was to create or at least simulate the pressure that you might feel in the situation that you just described, for example.
Yeah.
Is that something that you subscribe to kind of get your body and your mind right, even in practice?
100%. Yeah. I think, they say practice has to be harder than the game. And, I think back to, I actually wrote a book on this called The Practice of Golf, but it really talks about how important it is to generate that pressure in practice. And it's almost like it doesn't mean you have to work harder. It's just about working smarter. And when you're in those practice sessions, how can I, create some pressure? And then when you get out on the golf course, it seems a lot easier. And so there's some really good drills. We have drills on our website as well,
Mhm.
around that and generating that pressure. And I know there's in periods of time in college where we'd actually have to we would run and then try to hit a shot, or we would do 10
Oh,
push-ups
really?
and then we would have to make a putt, because it's going to simulate how you're feeling, right? I mean, we have to train to say, my heart's beating out of my chest and I'm going to make this 5-footer to win the tournament, or I'm going to make
Ah.
this to have the hole, or whatever it might be. And that's a pretty close, you're going to be sweating, arms shaking, heart beating out of your chest. I mean, that's not a perfect simulation, but it's pretty close to that simulation when you're in those pressure situations.
So it's not just me going with my buddies and playing for a bunch of cash, and then I'm, it's not just that. It's also
Yeah,
actually
no.
having to train yourself, right?
Although I will say, I mean, there's pressure there too, for sure.
Yeah,
But
there
if
is.
you're training in the right way, you're going to be able to hopefully take their cash pretty easily.
Absolutely. So you mentioned your book. You've got
Yep.
obviously got. I said the website is multifaceted. You could go out to sharpfocusgolf.com, listeners and viewers, to go check everything out. So you've got the nutrition, you've got the fuel, you've got the hydration, you've got all the videos that we've been talking about. We've got the book and everything else. What else do listeners need to know about Sharp Focus Golf?
Look, I think we just encourage you to go check it out, go see what's on there. Like I said, there's a lot of great free content on there, and I'd encourage you to look at my videos, fill out our profile, send us a video, and if you're going to get some great consulting for you moving forward, and then hopefully you feel this can be helpful for you to become a member and move forward from that standpoint. And we're going to be there to be your partner as you move along in golf. We've got members that send us videos quite frequently, and
Mm.
we want to do that. We want to be a part of your journey and help you accomplish your goals. And we're really excited about it. We're proud of it, and we look forward to continuing to grow the website in the coming weeks and months.
That reminded me, I have to send you a video of my swing. That's
Yes,
what I have
please.
to do.
Please
I need to
send
get
me
some.
a video. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
will. I'd love to know your take.
Yeah.
So,
Love
the
to.
player profile, I completely forgot to even bring that up. Thank you so much for reminding me. The player profile, this is the opportunity for people who have signed up for one
Yep.
of your programs to basically tell a little bit about themselves
Yeah.
on not only their skill set, but also um, what I remember seeing is, what do I want to improve on? So you give me that opportunity to kind of let you know.
100%. Yeah. That way we can meet you where you are in the game. Right. I mean,
Mhm.
that's what we want. I think it's to your point, it can be a challenge going on YouTube and getting some tip from someone, and oh, maybe this is what I need to do. But it's like, okay, well, where are you in your process? Where are you in your progression? And we want to meet you where you're at. And that's the hope with that player profile. And like we said, you can submit that for free, and you can submit the video for free as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, once again, folks, it's sharpfocusgolf.com. You'll see it right here on the screen. And if you're listening, be sure to go out to sharpfocusgolf.com. You've heard it here from Brinson himself. I mean, there's a ton of information out on there. It's wonderful that you're able to remove that barrier to entry, so to speak, Brinson. It's free to get started. It's free to send the video and do the profile to kind of get things going for people that really want to improve their game. Because let's face it, and you said it yourself, this is the information age. It's long been the information age. There's a ton of stuff out there, and it is
Yep,
very confusing at times
for
to
sure.
find the right thing to improve your game. And it sounds like you have gone through it, you've lived it, you've walked the walk, and you've put everything in one nice package there. It's really well done, my friend.
We appreciate that. Yeah, we think it's great information for $69. We think you're
Yeah.
really could be game changing and life changing in instances for some of the information on there. So yeah, we hope people enjoy it.
Well, and we hope to bring you back on here in the future. Maybe we'll bring on one of your other co-coaches as well.
That'd
But
be great. We'd love that. Yeah.
let's do it. Let's do it. And once again, folks, one last time, it's sharpfocusgolf.com. Go out and visit him today.